What's up, everybody? President Trump is about to start speaking, so I guess we're going to go there first. I guess we're not going to stay there long, I don't imagine. But I don't know. Chat, you tell me. Is that what you want to do? You want to check
Have you
in?
thought to yourself recently?
Whoops, sorry. Do you want to check in? What the fuck? I mean, I guess we kind of know what direction that's going, right? But I guess I'm always anticipating something bad is going to be said these days. Summer Ray, thank you so much, Summer Ray. Summer Ray, thank you so much, Summer Ray. Appreciate you. All right, let me turn the phone lines on here quick. I haven't turned them on yet. I see there's people calling, but phone lines aren't on yet, so. Okay, phone lines are on now. Summer Ray, thank you for becoming a tadpole. Appreciate you, Summer Ray. All right, Christopher, thank you for the 1999 super chat. Appreciate you, dude. Thank you, Princess, for sending a GOAT trophy. Guys, I would really appreciate trying to complete the goal tonight. If you do support the live, it very much helps me support the content, helps me, allows me to do this regularly. If you guys do enjoy these lives, I would appreciate it. Alicia, thank you so much, Alicia. Thank you, Alicia. Appreciate you. Yeah, I guess that's probably true, Book Nerd. I don't know. It's up to you guys. Let's just I don't know. I have it up. When you start speaking, I'll pull it up for a little bit if no one's calling in, and then we'll turn it off if he doesn't say anything, I guess. Kind of shit. I think it's the best way to do it. It's finally snowing in Utah. What? Snowing? What are you talking about? Do you mean it finally stopped snowing? Because that's crazy work.
From Luke.
We're talking like summertime stuff here now. Luke, how old are you?
18.
Luke, no, you're not. Okay. It's so funny how the young kids can't fake their... Disco D, thank you for the $9.99 super chat. Appreciate you, Disco D. Did you guys see the late night religious live I did last night? Bro, that was crazy, bro. That live was crazy. But Disco D, thank you so much for the $9.99 super chat. Amanda GWV, thank you for the $4.99 super chat. Appreciate you so much. I thought we were looking forward to summer here. And someone in the chat said, "Snow. It hasn't snowed all." Wait. So it's snowing now, and it hasn't snowed all winter. What? I can't imagine rooting on snow right now. I'm baffled. I got to be honest. I'm baffled. I thought we were looking forward to the summer here. You watched some of it this morning. It was crazy. It's up, though. You can go watch it. You can literally go watch it. We got Bear blasting in the chat, says the amount of money behind these streams absolutely wild. Dude, don't jealousy is not appealing. Mizabella, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Appreciate you, Mizabella. Thank you so much. Bill Pepper says Trump's my dad. Well, listen, Trump supporters like to call him daddy, but that's besides the point. The phone lines are open. Donald Trump is supposed to be delivering remarks here in a second. Not sure on what, but I do have it pulled up for when he starts speaking. If nobody's calling in really quick, we can pull it up for a minute. So It's not where I live. I didn't say it was snowing where I live. Somebody said where they live it was snowing. I just can't imagine rooting for snow right now, you know? Yeah, he probably does, Rachel, yeah. Well, listen, you know how it goes. You don't have to listen to me very long before you realize that I'm not one of those creators that takes money from these dark organizations to push Democrat agendas. They wouldn't. Those people don't really criticize Israel. They all say the exact same shit. The way to tell with those people is they also advertise the same products at the same time.
Call from.
Yeah, they don't say the things that I say. What's up? Are you a Trump supporter? Too late. Talk quicker. Talk quicker. I don't even know how to do that. Rose Music. I don't even know how the hell to do that. How do I do that in OBS? What's up? Are you a Trump supporter?
Alexander Day.
Are you a Trump supporter?
Yeah.
Okay, how old are you?
I'm 21.
Call from.
Dennis.
All right, Dennis, you got to wait on hold.
Oh.
All right, dude. What's up? You support Trump?
Yeah, I support Trump.
Ladies and gentlemen, the 45th and 47th President of the United States,
Trump is
Donald
J. Start speaking here, but we're okay. We can finish our call. All right. So, what did you think recently about Donald Trump's posting the picture depicting himself as Jesus? I'm just curious.
What do I think? I'm sorry. Could you repeat?
Yeah, Donald Trump depicted himself as Jesus.
Oh, he depicted himself as Jesus?
Yeah, you didn't know about that?
No, I'm sorry. Was that on the Twitter post? Oh, yeah, he declared himself as a doctor, actually.
Well, but, I mean, the picture's right on the screen in front of you. I mean, it's clearly not a doctor. I mean, he was depicting himself as Jesus.
Was it a nigger he was reviving, or what nigger was it?
Hold on really quick. Have you ever watched me before? Did you ever see me, find people that slur on my stream and ruin their life? You must be new here. Let me save that. Let me get that guy real quick. Hold on. By the way, guys, there's another guy that did that the other day. He had a gaming clan called Silent Gaming. That dude is in the process right now of losing his job. What's up, man? How old are you?
Hi, I am 21 years old.
Okay, do you support Trump?
Yes, I do.
Okay, and and you don't sound like you're 21, so I'm going to pass. You sound like a kid. Yeah, so this dude on here did this the other day. So for the guy that did that, just that's listening, I want you to know something. I spent almost 2 hours dealing with this dude, and he's in the process right now of losing his job for slurring on my live stream. The same thing's going to happen to you. So I would highly recommend calling them in advance and admitting that you just slurred and that you're incredibly sorry, because they're definitely going to fire you. When I tell them if they don't, I'm going to make a video about how they won't fire you. What's up? Are you a Trump supporter?
No, sir. I came on here the other show not even a week ago-ish, I think.
Mm-hmm.
When you were doing this. And I went under Kyle, I think. But I wanted to tell you again that you're doing this really good, and I really appreciate you doing this.
Appreciate you, dude. Take care.
You too.
Let me see if IDGF Ninja, you must be new here. You must be new here. You can always tell who's new here, who doesn't know. You can always tell who's new here, who doesn't know. The ones who know. The ones who know, know. Call him in advance, bro. That's my advice. Hey, I love people that say TDS, Trump Derangement Syndrome. Let me just address that really quick. Do you guys know who introduced the TDS bill? Do you know? Do you know it was a pedo? You know it was a ped? It was. Bro said he's going to make a video. Bro, and no one's going to see it. Your last video has 18 fucking views. So, nobody cares. Okay? Coming from the side that literally beat about losing their jobs, even though talking bad about Charlie Kirk's death was still protected by free speech, and so it isn't saying a slur. What? Bro, what kind of run-on sentence was that? You in the chat crying about Charlie Kirk or something? What? Didn't Trump supporters spend like months canceling people over saying negative things about Charlie Kirk? But now you're allowed to say the N slur? Well, listen, it's not up to me, right? I don't determine whether or not you can say the N slur. Your job does, right? Your community does. You want to know the magic is you go to their Facebook, you go to Facebook, you find, Facebook has like these local community pages. There's typically a lot of like Karens and Chads in there. They complain about people following too closely, doing things in their community. You post the clip with them, identifying them, and then their community is like horrified by it, and they start to spread it around. And most of the time, they kind of take care of it. But and then you call the job and you send them the clip and you say, hey, this happened, blah, blah, blah. And usually the job fires them right away. It's a whole mess. It's not worth it, right? So here's my advice. Don't say the N-word, right? That's my advice. Okay? You can always tell who's 12 in the chat. That's who argues that they should be able to say the N slur. Dilly Too Chilly says, someone please tell me where I can find that post of Trump portraying Jesus. I looked on True Social and find it. Dilly, he deleted it. He deleted it. He literally deleted it. Yeah, if you say the N-word, abject subset, I absolutely will send it to your job. Don't get mad at me. Just don't say the N-word. Right? Saying the N-word's not acceptable in 2026. My advice for you is to not say the N-word, right? It's not funny. It's a vile, disgusting slur. And yeah, that's how most people feel about it. So you can just be a normal person and have a normal conversation and you'll never have a problem. Or you can be a vile racist and you can be dealt with. Are you a Trump supporter?
Nope.
But you're 12, so you can't call in. So there's that. What is this person talking about? Adam, did you hear about Pete Hegseth's Bible quote? Yes. That shit was funny as fuck, dude. So let me ask you a question. Do you think this is the moment? He always deletes posts once he get called out. Is this guy saying that Trump didn't actually delete his post? You can't fully delete it? It's deleted off his Truth Social, you chud.
Call from.
This isn't a difficult concept. He posted it, and then he deleted it. It was uploaded to his Truth Social, and then he took it down. What's up? Are you a Trump supporter?
No, I voted for him before, but I no longer can support him. This was 2016. I just wanted to share something really quickly that's ironic about this whole MAGA movement.
Mm-hmm.
If you actually research the highest level of the Church of Satan, it is literally MAGA, spelled the same exact way. So these people, yeah, I might have shared it with you before. I can't remember, but it's just like,
say this before. But yeah, go ahead.
It's insane. It's insanity at its finest. Doing the same thing and expecting a different result. You're literally following some guy who goes by this highest level of the Church of Satan, and then he does something like this, and you still follow him. You literally have to be insane. It's just crazy at this point. And then another thing with that clown just did. I don't know why. I've been seeing this on other, debate channels. It could be an atheist channel. It could be a political channel. Why are white men calling other white men the N-word? I don't understand it.
Well,
why don't you just say honky or something? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just...
Let me explain. Because they're vile racists, and they will use any opportunity, as long as they think that they're anonymous, to use the word. But I can tell you that from debating for several years, it happens on TikTok as well. They will refer to white men who disagree with them as that word. They do it a lot. I don't know why, but they do. But listen, it's pathetic. I don't really care. That dude will get fucking humbled, and that's all there is to it. So, but take care, man.
Yeah, appreciate it. Have a good one.
You too. I'm going to check in with what Trump is saying here really quick. Trump is speaking live, apparently. And so I'm going to just pull it up just for one quick second to see. Yeah, it's not acceptable to say that word under any circumstances. It's 2026. It's vile. You should have. It's never was acceptable.
It's a big thing. People go out and they would borrow money, especially the farmers. I mean, they go out and they leave their farm, and the farm is valuable, but not a lot of cash. They live good. They wouldn't trade anytime. And they go out and they get a bill for taxes for the farm. The parents leave the farm to the children. The children go to the bank. They borrow a lot of money. They mortgage up the farm, and they end up losing the farm. They go bankrupt. They commit suicide, and it's a horrible thing that went on. You have no death taxes now. You have no inheritance taxes.
Guys, I'm not watching this. This is boring as fuck. But guys, there are literally Trump supporters in the chat right now denying that Trump posted this. There are literally Trump supporters, I shit you not, in my chat right now trying to claim Trump never posted this. The level of delusion. First of all, I have screenshots on my phone. There are screenshots all over Twitter. There are screenshots everywhere. But I just find it remarkable how you guys will do anything to defend this guy. It is crazy work. There are literally people in the chat right now trying to claim that he never said it. There's a guy up there like there should be a screenshot somewhere. There are screenshots everywhere. You can't Google it without finding some kind of screenshot. What are you talking about? Did you even do 5 seconds of research? It was on every major news network. It's everywhere. Bro, that IDGF ninja guy is clearly a kid. Like, I mean, if you can't tell, if you can't tell, it's clearly a child. No, I can't stand anybody who worships politicians. I don't care if somebody was worshiping someone on the left, I would call them out the same way. I don't worship politicians. I used to have a shirt that said "Don't worship" or "Stop worshiping politicians." I think it said "Stop worshiping politicians." God, why am I getting little kids tonight? That's why I kind of enjoyed the later night streams, because the little fucking kids were in bed. Like, where are these kids' parents, bro? The kid's like 14. Do their parents just not, like where are their parents?
Call from
Pedro.
What's up? Are you a Trump supporter?
No.
Okie dokie. I'm looking for Trump supporters. If you have a "Stop Worshiping Politicians" shirt of mine, that's a rare shirt to have. That's a dope shirt. That's the best shirt I ever made. That shirt is just dope. Love that shirt. Just the black and white and all of that, everything about it, I love it. I love it. I might put that shirt out again. I don't know. If you're interested, I might put that shirt out again. I don't know. Will, what's going on? Are you a Trump supporter?
Hey there. This is Bill.
Goodbye, Bill. Yeah, I'm thinking about doing that because I'm thinking about doing it and connecting it to my connecting it to my YouTube because I'm probably going to be connecting some stuff to my YouTube channel. They keep asking me to do it, so I might do that. That shirt sold out quick. I think I only ever made 400 of those, and they sold out in like literally 3 days. They were gone. Are you a Trump supporter?
Yes, I am.
How old are you?
23.
Okay. You want to have let's start with get a surface level understanding of what kind of Trump supporter you are. Do you condemn the blasphemy?
I love Jesus.
You guys got to find something better to do. There's got to be something better to do this evening, right? There's got to be something better to do. Here, I'm going to give you some homework, okay? Here's the. I know it's difficult to defend Trump at this point. I understand it's reached a level of becoming impossible, to defend Trump at this point. But you got to find something better to do, all right? You got it. I know, they're little kids, bro. If you don't talk in the pre-recording, so yes, this is the screen. What's your first name?
Mark.
Okay. Let's go. To that guy who just called in, you can call back if you want. I'm sorry. Let me just call him back. Yes, is this Mark?
Yes, this is Mark.
Okay, Mark, you are now on with Adam. Go ahead. That was the screen I had to put you through.
Oh, okay. Yeah, thank you.
What's up? Are you a Trump supporter?
Yes, I am.
Okay, Mark, what do you think about the blasphemy? What is it blasphemy? What are your thoughts on it?
Well, I mean, I that's definitely not something that I think is good for the country overall. I mean, it's turning politics into kind of a, I don't know, just seems like it's just getting silly at this point. You know what I mean?
I just think that he's run on this idea that he is Christian and that he represents Christians, right?
Right.
And I find it remarkable. It's almost like a study I'm conducting here, right? I find it remarkable, the people unwilling to just say, yes, it was blasphemy, and I condemn it.
Yeah, I would agree. I mean, I think, there's definitely a section of the voting base that maybe a little bit too generous to Trump. But I do think there are some strong points, that he has brought to the table.
Yeah, the Ninja guy's muted. Don't worry about it. But the point is it blasphemy or no?
Yeah, I would say it is.
You would say it is, dude. He's mocking Jesus. He's depicting himself as Jesus. That's blasphemous.
Yeah, I would agree. It's not my favorite thing.
Yeah, it's not your favorite thing. It's just you still. I just feel like you still won't really say it the way. But anyway, the point is, do you support the war in Iran?
Yes, I actually do.
Smokey's Choice, shut up. You're the same person on a different account. Shut up. Grow up. Find something better to do. Okay, why do you support the war in Iran?
Well, really it's mostly economical. I mean, the one thing that we have been seeing is the country just growing so large, like my penis.
Wait, that literally is, wait, hold on. This is a grown man. This isn't even a kid.
Penis.
This is a grown man, bro. That was a grown adult. That was a grown fucking adult, bro. That was a grown adult. I'm kind of disturbed by that. There's got to be something better to do. Hang out with Joan. Hang out with Stanley, Gregory, Michael, Donna. You know?
Call from.
Yes. Are you a Trump supporter?
I voted for him 3 times, but he lost. He's lost me as of like the last, I don't know, man, basically since like a month after the election, it's been awful. Yeah. And I guess just, yeah, go ahead.
Okay, cool. So let's talk about it. What specifically in the last month? Well, the first month, the beginning month of his presidency, the first month of his presidency, you mean?
Yeah, well, I mean, and I mean that like generally speaking, but like to answer your question, like what was it that? I mean, I'm 39. I'm a resident of South Carolina, and yeah, like I said, I voted for him 3 times.
But what did he do in his first month that lost your support? I'm just curious. I mean, I'm glad that you realized it. I mean, he's not fulfilled any of his agenda. I mean, almost everything on his agenda he hasn't done or promised. I mean, he ran on no new wars. I think the only thing he's at least attempted to, or you could argue attempted to do and follow through with, was his deportation policy, but it's been an utter disaster in its execution.
Well, he would tell you, he and others, he and the few remaining supporters would tell you that the border.
Jay Stewart, can you stop spamming in the chat? All right, God, you little weirdo. Like,
they didn't close the border.
I've never seen someone in the chat cry so much about it. Like, go away. Go upload more videos of bunny rabbits. Go ahead. What did you say, dude?
Chat's terrible. No, it's not something. I guess as his presidency, as his second term has evolved, I just learned more about the Israel lobby, and I learned at some point after the election, that he took hundreds of millions from Miriam Adelson. Didn't even know who the fuck Miriam Adelson was until I did, and then it's like, okay.
But did you know he had a really close relationship with Benjamin Netanyahu, and he was a Zionist?
No.
Didn't? Oh, because there was.
No.
Go ahead.
No, if you depress me, but like that was so far the foreign like that was so far from the top of mind, man. I feel like leading up to the election, and now he wants to fall back and be like, I've always said, and it's like, dude, like maybe you've always said, maybe you have, we can go back and talk, we can go back and find evidence of you saying that no nuclear, yada yada, for Iran, but like you have completely gone off the rails. Like, they moved the embassy to Jerusalem. Like, that's a fucking tell right there. If I'm not mistaken, Barack Obama didn't, we did not recognize Jerusalem as the capital, or did we? I mean, maybe, but
E. Green, you're correct. E. Green, thank you so much. Listen, let me explain this. This is not difficult to understand, because if and this has to do with paying attention. If you paid attention, like, and I'm not taking. Sorry, dude. I just had a fucking phone call thing on my computer pop up. Did you hear what I said?
I got you. No. I got you. You dropped out for a second, but I got you now.
I said that. God, that distracted me, and I lost my point. Okay, so before the election, they were literally accusing Donald Trump of conspiring with Benjamin Netanyahu, and negotiating things prior to his term, which would be illegal. You have to be approved to negotiate on behalf of the United States, even if you're the president-elect.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. And I mean, Jared Kushner being his son-in-law, I mean, dude, if somebody like you had grabbed me and been like, bro, let me lay it out for you, you would have been able to convince me. You know what I mean? It's just that wasn't.
Well, that's what
I don't know, man. We just.
All I'm glad to see is that younger people are recognizing, and again, it's talk about Israel, but just generally speaking, foreign influence is a serious issue, that needs to be addressed. The AIPAC lobby is an example, and Israel's influence is certainly what's dragging us into these wars. But this is what I'm talking about, chat. If you pay close attention, this is what I'm talking about when I say making sure you're an informed voter. You didn't need to vote for Trump. A lot of these things we knew prior to the election. I talked about these things on TikTok constantly, talked about these things on different platforms constantly, told people this is why you shouldn't vote for him. I thought Iran was absolutely a possibility because he tore up the original agreement. He tore up the Iran nuclear deal and claimed that he would negotiate a better deal, didn't negotiate a better deal. I thought it was likely that he would do this on behalf of Israel and opt for military action. I'm not sure I predicted he would make this stupid of a decision, but I definitely didn't believe the no new wars narrative. So I guess this just goes back to being the most informed you can before you vote, and this is a really good example of that because you're recognizing some of these issues now. Now, these are issues throughout our government. It's not particular to Republicans. There are issues with AIPAC and foreign influence in the Democratic Party as well. So it's across the spectrum. But Trump is the worst I've ever seen.
Hakeem Jeffries has his. He's the first one that comes to mind. He has his spot.
Cory Booker,
yeah,
what's his name, just voted to send more bulldozers to Israel. Chuck Schumer. I mean, so there are tons of Democrats. Right. So it's a major issue. But that being said, Donald Trump is the worst I've ever seen. That's one of a million things wrong with Donald Trump. And this war is destroying the country, really.
The Easter True Social, I mean, he wasn't this flagrantly fucking vile.
He was, dude. He was.
I mean, I don't know how I didn't. Because now I can smell it and see it, man. And
that's the difference. You were sold some kind of lie, not incredibly informed. I bet you. I mean, dude, like leading into his first term, he was saying things like, he believes he can grab women without their consent. I mean, there's all sorts of shit he said that was fucking disgusting. He used to say all sorts of crazy shit. He's gotten more bold. I will agree he's gotten more bold, but that's partially because he's not up for re-election. He doesn't need you anymore. But to say he wasn't,
and I wouldn't say I was underinformed. 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 I mean, did you vote? Did you vote? Did you write in? I mean,
of course I voted.
You know what I mean?
I've been talking politics on social media just for several years since 2022.
Kamala?
Debating on social media. Yes, I would vote for Kamala again today. But that doesn't mean I can't recognize that there are issues on both sides of the political spectrum where I can't realize that AIPAC influence is a problem. I knew Trump was going to do these things. I told people not to vote for him because I knew he was going to do these things. He did these things. That doesn't automatically mean that Democrats are suddenly golden and there's nothing wrong with them. And that's what MAGA, this idea that MAGA gets this idea in their head. I don't know if they listen to people who do that, where if you're critical of Trump, you can also be critical of Democrats. And that's just not true. I am critical of all politicians who don't have the best interests of the American people in mind. So all I can say to you is did you know that Trump sat down with Benjamin Netanyahu prior to the election and was negotiating foreign policy?
No, I did not see that. I did not see that. I did not see that.
That's an example of what I'm talking about, though, right? Did you?
But I mean, even if you told me,
did you read Agenda 47?
No. Forgive me.
That's literally his agenda. That's his agenda.
I thought it was the Heritage thing, the fucking Stephen Miller.
Yeah, that's Project 2025.
What was Yeah.
That's not his. He had a personal agenda. He had a list of things he was going to accomplish. It was called Agenda 47. So it was like, I'm going to put houseless people in internment camps and force treatment, like just crazy proposals, immigration, deportation policy, some foreign policy stuff that wasn't true about America First.
That's the fucked up thing about it, though, isn't it? The beautifully fucking awful thing about this whole thing is that, like, neither some Trump voters nor people that voted or Democrats are getting what they want, dude. In this fucked up two-party system, nobody gets what they want, dude. Nobody does.
No, it's a system.
None of us do. No, we don't.
It's a system that needs to be entirely dismantled in order to be better. But the problem is, and I want to be clear about this, MAGA, like what you would call MAGA, which are these hardline Trump supporters, those people.
I don't know what MAGA is anymore besides Trump.
Well,
besides Trump himself, I don't know what MAGA is anymore.
They're hardline Trump supporters. They're guys that fucking, they're
guys. Fox News boomers.
Yeah, they just don't listen.
That's all that's left.
It's not even just boomers. No, I'm telling you, dude. I talk to people who are in their fucking 20s. I talk to people in their 20s that are Trump supporters.
They don't watch Nick Fuentes.
No,
They
but
don't
they
watch
watch.
Nick Fuentes.
No, but they watch like Tim Pool. They watch like guys like that. They watch.
Tim's off. That's a good example, but Tim's off. Tim's off, isn't he? He's off the Trump flag, isn't he?
I don't know. I honestly don't follow him close enough to tell you. I don't know. But there are other, like, I'm on TikTok. I don't know if you've ever watched me before, but there are right-wing influencers on there, like the older millennial. Those are MAGA supporters. Those are guys that still support the Trump agenda. Those are guys that these young guys follow. There's a lot of them, but it's going to require completely dismantling the system. So all I tell people is, if we're lucky enough to break through what is this fascist grip that they have on this country right now, it's going to require a complete overhaul. We can't go back to how it was before, because how it was before led us to here. Thanks for calling in, dude. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
Take care. Let's see if we can get an actual Trump supporter to call in. I got a shitload yesterday, but apparently they're just very embarrassed to say they support Trump. I don't know. I know you guys think, right, that it would have been worse under Kamala Harris. You're wrong. This idea that because Trump is unpredictable, because Donald Trump is, crazy, that people won't fuck with him, understand this. That's not been the case historically. We have leaders, for instance, Hitler, right? Unpredictable. That didn't keep other countries from organizing to invade the beaches of Normandy and liberate Europe, right? Like, being crazy and unpredictable doesn't necessarily mean countries are afraid of you. Are you a Trump supporter? In fact, I would argue Trump's been outmaneuvered and outmanipulated, even by countries that claim they're our allies, like Israel. Are you a Trump supporter, dude?
Yes, sir, I am.
Nope. Can already tell the conversation's going to be stupid, not wasting my time. It does, and there are so many people that think this, like, that Trump's unpredictable and people are afraid of them. These other countries are laughing, and they're mostly organizing, right? And clearly, Donald Trump being crazy allowed for him to be manipulated enough to do this, right? Like, I think the Epstein files were a major part of why Donald Trump said yes to this, and I think that's something a lot of people need to accept. He was in a corner with the Epstein files. There's no fake news. There was no way to get out from underneath it. When it came to the Epstein files, he was in a corner, and he knew it. And I think Bibi sold him what every Israeli prime minister has tried to sell the president of the United States for decades, which is, if you do this, you will be a hero. You will bring peace to the Middle East. And I think he thought, well, that will change the narrative at the very least, even if it's a failure. I mean, I don't get very comfortable when I hear our intelligence agencies say they didn't conduct a threat analysis, that the president has just presented intelligence, and they can't tell us whether the president knew that they would choke the Strait of Hormuz, or how they would choke the Strait of Hormuz, or what the retaliation would be for the war, or the consequences for the global economy. What's up, dude? Are you a Trump supporter?
Yeah.
Okay. And what are your thoughts on the war in Iran? I mean, do you support this AI photo? Just real quick first. Okay, you're taking too long, dude.
Hello?
What's up? Are you a Trump supporter? Nope, you're a kid.
The Jesus photo?
Yeah, the Jesus photo.
It's probably a little retarded, but to be honest,
you can't use that word, bro. You cannot use that word. Are you a Trump supporter?
I'm a kid and I...
Then stop calling me before I call your mom and get you grounded for 6 months. I'm a kid. Dude, you had nothing better to do? Like, when I was a kid, like, I would not be calling a political show. Stop calling. I guess they do call and prank and stuff, but I'm going to call your mom if you call again.
Call from?
Bad, B-A-D.
Calling your mom if you call again. You understand me? All right. Bad, B-A-D. Hello.
What's going on, brother?
Go ahead. What's up?
No, I'm a Trump supporter, man. Calling in because, I don't know, after the past few years, I mean, I was Democrat, but I'll never vote Democrat ever again. They've been calling for violent riots, protests, public political assassinations, gender-affirming care, having pre-kindergarten children in classes getting twerked on by grown-ass men in drag queen outfits.
Listen.
Yeah.
Mate, that's not happening. That's fucking insane. What are you talking about? Can I ask real quick, do you support Donald Trump trying to depict himself as Jesus since you're a Christian, right?
No, I'm not a Christian. I'm Orthodox.
Okay, do you think it was blasphemous to depict himself as Jesus?
Putting it on his post like that and then saying that he thought it was for some doctor stuff, no, but he didn't create it himself. That was somebody did that with AI, and it was probably a libtard that did it. And
does
then
that
he
matter whether or not he said whether or not he made it? He posted it.
Yeah, so what? If somebody did some stupid stuff like me at social media, I'd have posted it and laughed too. I wouldn't have lied about it and said I thought it was for some doctor stuff
guys,
and whatever.
Let's do a hypothetical here. Guys, let's pretend for a second. Let's just do this for a second. Can you guys imagine if Obama did that? Can you imagine if Biden did that? The absolute temper tantrum that MAGA would throw if Biden did that? You guys would be in your feelings so hard, crying, oh my God, I can't believe how disrespectful. I mean, the idea that it's not.
Oh, actually, we did do it. Actually, we did do it with Obama and Chlamydia Harris when people were talking about.
All right, this guy is vile. Just vile, just vile. Not willing to listen. That conversation's going nowhere, so. Dude's vile. This person says it was blasphemy, but I still support Trump. Well, Nerf Master, at least you're willing to admit it was blasphemy. That's a step above the rest. I always find it gross when people do that when they burp on camera or on the microphone. It's disgusting.
Call from.
No, it's not. It was provided to me by the DNC. What's up, dude? Are you a Trump supporter?
No, I'm not either, actually.
Okay, hold on. What's up, dude? Are you
Cameron?
What's up, Cameron? Are you a Trump supporter?
Yes and no.
Are you guys this embarrassed? Come on. You're a Trump supporter. There is no yes and no. You voted for him. You support him, and it's okay. Stand 10 toes down.
I mean,
on
I
it,
didn't
right?
vote. I didn't vote for him.
Oh, you didn't?
I didn't vote for him.
Oh.
No, and the only reason why is because I just don't believe in voting anymore because the polls have been all messed up the past couple of years, and everybody knows about that. So,
Christopher. So listen. What about the polls that you didn't vote because the polls are? What do you mean the polls?
So, like, on each side, it was saying random stuff, and then the last election, it was saying that it was, like, hacked into and stuff like that, and I just don't believe in it anymore. I just think that we need to completely abolish everything and just restart from the very beginning.
So I just don't know what you mean about the polls. I mean, I would agree. I think there needs to be a complete overhaul our government. I talked about this earlier today. I think Congress, like the stuff with Eric Swalwell, right? We condemn Eric Swalwell. We condemn people like Matt Gaetz, but I think this is a culture in our government. Our government's perverted. They're a bunch of sick, twisted. There's a lot of sickos, but you can't not vote, dude, right? Like in the process of doing what you want to do, you have to vote. Right? We have to get to a point where we're in enough control that we can dismantle that system. Just not voting is basically what they want from you, right? The less people that vote, the more they can consolidate power. You understand that, right?
I mean, yeah, but at the same time, you gotta take this into consideration. If we had just like 3 or 4 days to vote instead of this whole entire term election type thing, it would make it so much easier just to do like multiple polls, figure out whoever comes up top, and whoever comes up top, they do an election at that point, and you know what I mean? Go from there. It shouldn't be this whole 3 or 4 months of voting, and then, you wait and wait and wait, and then it ends up being the wrong person. We should be able to just be like, hey, all in favor.
What do you mean 3 or 4 months of voting?
That's what it feels like. It feels like it's multiple months of voting because that's all it is campaigning these different types of people that are saying, oh, we're going to do this, we're going to do that, and then they get into election and they actually get into office and nothing actually happens. I mean, I see it as a big-ass cycle. Excuse my language, but, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't understand what you mean about how the elections work. But, I mean, either way, dude, here's the thing, right? Let's just break this down, okay, in simple terms. Do you think that authoritarians want less, or people who are actively trying to consolidate power would rather have you vote or rather have you stay home?
I don't know. I would. I
They'd rather have you stay home, dude.
Or.
If voting wasn't important, they wouldn't work so hard to try and make it difficult and interfere with your ability to do it, right? If voting wasn't important, it wouldn't be such a topic of conversation by the people that we're talking about right now.
Yeah.
You understand? So
I completely 100% agree with you, but at the same time, I just, like I said, it should be like, you know, all in favor. You know, we put that person into election, we get them into office, and if they're not doing what's right, it shouldn't be we have to wait 2 or 3 years down the road to kick them out or
we have a process of impeachment. Well, we have a process of impeachment, but it depends on whether or not you have the votes. You can bring articles of impeachment with a simple majority, but can you convict and remove them? At this point, so what you need to be advocating for, right, if you're a Republican, is that Republicans grow a spine and impeach Trump. They can impeach him. They are choosing not to, right? So that's still an issue of voting, right? There's people in there that don't have integrity enough to stand up to their own party and say, look, this guy is completely out of control. He's no longer functioning in the way that conservatives want him to. He's not representing what we thought he was going to in terms of no new wars or whatever the case is, and impeach him. Impeach him for Iran. Impeach him for the Epstein files. The issue right now that we're having is Republicans have no line in the sand. They have no line in the sand. There is no point. There is no line that you cross for Republicans for them to go, you know what? Enough is enough. We can't support this anymore. They are willing to support him no matter what he does. No matter what he does, as long as he advances their agenda. And so that still comes down to an issue of voting. It just happens to be, you know, your elected representatives.
I think it really boils down to we need to go back to the way that it used to be, you know, older Western days where we actually had, you know, cowboys and it's not this back and forth argument.
Cowboys?
It should be just, you know what I mean? It should be one thing that we agree upon and, you know what I mean? It shouldn't be like, oh, this person needs to be in office because they can do this better than the other person. We need to have somebody in there that's actually going to be able to do what's right, and that's the gist of it. It shouldn't be, oh, we need this in this area and this in that area. There's a lot of areas that need work. It's just nobody's willing to make that decision. Nobody's willing to stand up for what's right anymore because it's gone so long that everything's been wrong that they don't understand what's right. So that's where I stand in it.
I think that what you're doing, dude, and you seem relatively young. How old are you?
23.
Yeah. I think what you're doing, first of all, saying go back to the cowboy days, I mean, I think we need, let's be clear. I don't know if you're referring to elections in particular, but that time period involved taking land by force. I think Native Americans, you know, would argue with wanting to go back, being pushed off their land often.
That's not what I was talking about. I'm talking like,
I know, that's why I said I think you're just referring to a government system. But here's the point, dude, right? I think you're going through a stage where you're recognizing, right, that they don't have your best interests in mind. All I can tell you is that at this point you should be voting Democrat because Republicans have completely lost the plot. They are actively protecting an unhinged fascist who is destroying our democratic constitutional republic. And if you don't ultimately support everything Democrats support, or you don't ultimately support their agenda, hey, look, that's something I would agree with you on. There's things I don't like. I don't like U.S. foreign policy. It doesn't matter if it's Democrat or Republican, right? I don't support a lot of policies that Democrats support, but there's a clear issue right now with the state of our country. And if we're going to take a step forward, it involves removing the current administration and ultimately not voting Republican in that process.
I think we ultimately just need to move forward with everything. Republican, Democrat, liberal. I mean, I could care less what you are, just as long as we can agree upon one thing, and that's to get somebody into office that's going to do the right thing. It shouldn't be, who's doing what and what has happened in the past. If they've moved forward and they're no longer doing it, it's like convicting a felon that's already been convicted. That's the way I see it.
All right, man. Well, good luck, all right? Take care.
Yep, you too.
Not sure he was hearing me, but I love people that come into my live and like, why am I watching a live when I don't even like, why am I watching this live when I don't even like politics? That's not a question for us to answer, right? If you don't want to watch a political live, go find somebody who's, I don't know, fucking digging a ditch or something. Whatever you're into. No, so I've made this statement before, and I want people to understand what I'm trying to say here is that I want to go in to this because I think the midterms have the potential to be pretty rough. I don't think that, and again, I'm going to be careful how I say this, but I don't think they're interested. I don't think they're interested in allowing for the blue tsunami that's about to occur to take place. I think they're very concerned that not only is Donald Trump going to be impeached after the midterms, but that many of these people are going to be prosecuted. And we've heard from insiders that there's a lot of fear of prosecution inside the administration. And we heard the stuff about Trump often offering pardons to people and stuff like that. So,
67.
So do we honestly believe that they're just going to allow that to happen? I mean, so look, we need to be voting in numbers like we've never seen before and make sure we can effectively remove this guy. And then we'll have conversations about our disagreements on, like, domestic policy and so on. Are you a Trump supporter?
Yes, I used to be.
Okay, you have a lot of background noise. What's going on there?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm watching your live right here on my TV.
Yeah, Jerry, you got to turn it off, though, because it echoes through,
right. Yeah, I got you, man. I got you.
All right, what's up?
All right, can you hear me better?
Yeah, what's up?
So I just wanted to say that I don't think that Kamala would have been better than Trump at all.
Okay, let's talk about it. So, let's start with the war in Iran. I think a president who wouldn't have invaded Iran.
I feel like it would have happened. I feel like it would have happened either way because we've been planning on taking over Iran.
Okay, so why didn't Biden do it?
Because he was worried about other things. He was worried about control. Trump already has control. Biden didn't have control. Control of the people.
Trump's approval rating is in the trash pail. He's got.
Yeah, now it is. Now it is.
No,
but
it was prior.
When he first started,
no, it was prior to the war in Iran.
He was really big compared to like Kamala Harris and Joe Biden. Nobody was really even liking their policies or what they were trying to do or what they were even standing for. You know what I mean? That's why they couldn't even do anything, so they had to get taken down. Whereas Trump, they know that, like, he's proven himself time and time again to do what he, like, almost, I don't want to say, like, what he wants to do, but, like, kind of like he's controllable. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like he's just a pawn in a bigger game, just like every other president was.
Well, I would argue that's not a good thing. But anyways, let me just kind of debunk that. Are you saying Trump or are you saying Biden? Because I would argue Trump is in that. I thought you were talking about Trump.
Yeah,
Trump
no, I'm saying both. Yeah, I'm saying both.
Well,
I'm
Trump is most definitely
Trump
is most definitely being outmaneuvered by Benjamin Netanyahu. But let me just explain something. There was you said it wasn't low prior to the war. There was a Reuters poll right before the war in Iran that had Trump's approval at 36%. That was a new low. And then they put his net approval around -12 to like 15, -15, depending on the poll. Trump absolutely was losing public support before the war in Iran. The war made it worse, but understand his numbers were weak before the conflict. The conflict added more backlash. His approval was not strong. And that was largely due to the Epstein files and the fact that the Department of Justice was actively obstructing justice to interfere with the release of those files. So I hope you understand. I don't know if you're getting the timeline mixed up, but he was not.
Yeah.
They didn't
Yeah,
support.
I understand that this is all a distraction from the files and all that. I know, but I'm just telling you that Kamala or Biden would not have been better. Any president right now just won't be better.
Kamala would not
They're
have
all a pawn in
invaded
the
Iran.
game.
Kamala would not have invaded Iran.
Because she couldn't. She physically, she don't have the skills. She don't have the knowledge. She can't lead an army, bro.
What skill do you
saying? She
think
can't
that
do
it
that.
took Trump to? Dude, I would argue that this administration has no skill, and that's why they fucked it up so bad. Let's talk about the war in Iran. What does Donald Trump possess that Kamala Harris doesn't have?
Nothing. They both have the same thing, but
You just said
Trump-
she doesn't have it, and
people,
Trump does.
people basically like Trump. No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that she doesn't have as much knowledge as Trump does. Trump knows how to argue people. Trump knows how to get the people to like him. Kamala couldn't, and that's why they got rid of her.
Kamala Harris had more experience in government than Donald Trump could dream of.
No, no,
She had
did not.
dude, she had
First of all,
So she did-
Trump
she didn't
is
she didn't
major
have
in
experience in
business, bro.
all three branches of government prior to the election. She was literally
her government. We all know that she got her government jobs due to her ex-boyfriend. We all know that.
No, that's not true. That's a
Yes,
Republican Fox News
that's true.
talking point. Really?
No, that's
so
not
she
true.
became she was a U.S. senator in California because of her boyfriend.
Bro, everybody can become. They pick bums off the street to become a fucking governor in California, dude. Like,
Okay,
come on.
so
Look,
do you think you could become a senator?
dude, and waste trillions of dollars? Yeah, I could do that easily.
But I'm saying, do you think you could achieve the role of senator? Because if you could, and you have all these great ideas, why are you not doing it?
Because I don't want to. I don't want to be controlled. I don't want my family to get hurt. I don't want none of that. I'm a part of the people, bro. I want to stay a part. I want to keep it that way. I don't want people to know where I am. I don't want people to know about my life. You know what I mean? I'd rather just stick with the people.
I think you're still on the Fox News end of the propaganda here. So all I can say is this, dude. Trump does not possess anything Kamala Harris doesn't possess. Kamala Harris is so much more intelligent. Kamala Harris is so much more intelligent than Trump. It's not even funny. Trump is a moron. He is not smart at all.
But
he was
when it
full.
comes to
Listen,
the
do you know
media,
how
bro-
many? Do you know Israel's been trying to get the United States to do this on their behalf for decades?
Bro, they got our banking system, dude. They can do it with anybody.
Are you
It's not
listening
just
to what I
Trump.
just said? I said they've
Yes,
been trying
I am.
to get a U.S. president to do this for decades, and they all said no. Trump
No, they
is
didn't.
this. Yes, they did. Donald Trump
No,
opted
none of
for
them had the power. None of them had the power to even move anything, to get anybody to even do anything.
We
for them.
had an agreement negotiated which allowed for the most intrusive inspections we've had in the JCPOA. Do you understand that? Donald Trump tore up that agreement, claimed he could negotiate a better agreement, couldn't successfully negotiate a better agreement, opted for military action in Operation Midnight Hammer, claimed that operation was a success and destroyed their enrichment facilities and they were years away from developing a nuclear weapon, and now claims it's a primary objective just months later. Do you understand? Donald Trump fucked this up. No one else. Donald Trump fucked this up. Now, the United States government has responsibility for what led to the regime ultimately. But in terms of recent history, Donald Trump tore up the diplomatic agreement we had, claimed that he could negotiate a better one, couldn't negotiate that agreement, instead opted for military action, and then was unsuccessful in that as well. Now he's stuck between a rock and a hard place because Iran has responded by choking the Strait of Hormuz.
And he's scared.
Yeah.
Yes,
So-
and he's scared. Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks for
I
calling
know,
in.
bro. I agree with you, bro. Like, really do. I agree with a lot of things that you're saying, but like, I just feel like a lot of the presidents would have just, the same thing would have happened.
I want you
But
to
thank you,
understand
bro.
that.
Thank you for this conversation.
All right. Thanks for calling in. I mean, so the idea that you guys think that Trump is smarter than Kamala Harris is baffling to me. It's baffling. I mean, none of you have ever been able to substantiate that that's true. This was the most experienced person I think we've ever had run for government in recent history. Had experience in the executive branch. She was the vice president. She had experience in the legislative branch. She was a U.S. senator. She had experience in the judicial branch. She spent her career as a prosecutor, as an attorney general. She worked in the judicial system, right? She was a California attorney general for years. Oversaw major litigation, major legal policy. Donald Trump is generational wealth. Donald Trump got a loan from his father. Please stop comparing their intelligence. It's insane.
Yeah.
I mean, it says more about you than it does about her. Are you a Trump supporter?
Yeah.
Okay. How old are you? All right, you're
Call
weird,
from.
dude. What's up? Are you a Trump supporter?
Yes, I am.
Okay. The problem is though that you're 5 years old, so I mean, there's that. Charcity, thank you for being a member for 14 months. Appreciate you. Sorry, guys, I might be missing things tonight. Gifts and stuff. Angel Blue Eyes, thank you for the $1 super chat. Charcity, thank you for the $5 super chat. Don't these jokers ever get embarrassed as much kissing up to him they do. They love to kiss up to him. That's what they do. It's embarrassing. It really is. Guys, I put up a new gifting goal. Can we please complete this gifting goal? If you guys do enjoy these late night lives, I would appreciate actually supporting the gifting goal. Make sure you hit the subscribe button if you are new here, so that way you do not miss lives in the future. The most common message I get and comment I get is, why do I keep missing live streams? Because you haven't hit the notification bell, right? 30% of the audience that watches is not subscribed. We've been on TikTok for 1 year. Right? Because we used to stream both times of the day, morning and night, on TikTok. And now we're starting to stream on YouTube.
Call from Mustafa.
Stop calling me. Why are these infants calling me? What's happening here? Guys, you can say whatever you want about Kamala Harris. She's smarter than Trump. I hate to tell you. I can prove it. Come debate it. Are you a Trump supporter?
Press 1. To send a voicemail, press...
Yes, are you a Trump supporter? Listen, here's what we're going to make this live about. If you call me and you're an infant, I'm calling your mom back and telling her that you're spam calling me. You're calling me from mommy's number. I know it. I will call your mom and tell her that you're spamming me. Naylin, thank you for the $4.99. Thank you so much, Naylin. Appreciate you. Laura Shock, thank you for the $5 super chat. Kamala had more intelligent or pinky finger than he has. Yes, well, listen, he's a goof. And 210 Rain, thank you so much, Christopher. Appreciate you. All right, the call line's on, guys. Call in really quick, 908-652-3703. I don't have that much more time, so make sure you're going to call in. If you're going to make an argument, you should make an argument now. If you think Donald Trump was smarter than Kamala Harris, well, come in and substantiate that that's true. I'm going to double check something really quick and see if Donald Trump spoke here. Let's see.
Hello? I'm Fred.
Dude, how old are you?
What?
If you call me again, I'm calling your mom. Do you hear me?
Yes.
Call from
John.
All right, listen, so I'm going to look up this number. I'm going to get your mom's number, okay? I'm going to call her, and I'm going to tell her that you're prank calling a political show, and she's going to take your phone away.
Sure.
All right, that's what we're going to start doing. Let's make this live about that. Dems tried to give us Biden again. Has this guy forgotten that? What do you mean? Biden didn't run. Kamala Harris did.
Call from
Biden didn't run. Kamala Harris did. Yes, are you a Trump supporter?
Go ahead, call my mom.
Go ahead, call my mom. Go ahead, call my mom. Are you a Trump supporter?
You talking to me?
Yes. Go ahead, call my mom. Are you a Trump supporter? Did you hear that kid? Lady Rage, thank you for the $4.99 super chat. Thank you so much, Lady Rage. Appreciate you. Thank you so much, everybody. Appreciate you. That's funny, man. Smoking guns. I'm not betraying my own interests. What do you mean? Jay Garzilla, thank you for the $4.99 super chat. Appreciate you, Jay Garzilla.
Right, my name is...
Hey, what's up, dude? Are you a Trump supporter?
No, I just want to call and say I really appreciate what you're doing. A lot of retards still.
Appreciate you, bro. You can't say that word, though. If you are a Trump supporter, call in 908-652-3703. 210 Rain. Christopher, thank you so much. Appreciate you. Jay Garzilla says, missed this morning's live because I went to the office today surrounded by my red dot coworkers. Take my money. Thank you so much, Jay Garzilla. Appreciate you.
Awesome.
I know sometimes we get some jealous Trump supporters in the chat here. What's up, dude? Are you a Trump supporter?
Yep.
Do you still support him today? You
Yeah.
do. So, do you, just real quick, just to get a surface level understanding of what kind of supporter you are, so we know what kind of pretzel you're going to twist yourself in during the course of this conversation. Do you think that it is blasphemous for Donald Trump to post a picture of himself depicting himself as Jesus?
Does it matter?
Yes, I think it's incredibly.
Why does it matter?
Because I think it's disrespectful, and I just want to know: do you condemn it? Or?
But does it change the fact that he's actually doing stuff for our country?
I think he's doing a horrible job. He's doing
No, but what does it have to do with the Jesus picture? What does it have to do with that
because
picture?
I think what it shows is a pattern, right? Hold on, let me finish. What I think it shows is a pattern of behavior in conjunction with invading Iran or the Epstein files, that this person is not fit for office.
But what does this picture change about what he's done for our country? This is just a random picture. You can't, you obviously don't support Trump, and you just see one, I agree he shouldn't have posted that, but, does that, affect what he's doing? Let's talk about what he's actually doing.
Oh, he's doing a horrible job, but I'll talk about whatever I want. You don't dictate what I talk about. But he's also exhibiting behavior of someone in cognitive decline. And you guys spent 4 years saying Biden is in cognitive decline. And so I think this is evidence that Trump is in cognitive decline, and I think it needs to be addressed.
Why do you think this is evidence that he's in cognitive decline?
Because
I know
he
Trump
posted
is
a picture
very
depicting himself as Jesus when his supporters are primarily people who claim to be Christian. That is pretty. That's pretty. I mean, listen. Have you seen the picture? It's
I'm not
unhinged.
saying
And
that's
furthermore,
smart of him
hold
to
on.
post that.
Furthermore, Dwayne, thank you so much. Says, I enjoy your show. Keep up the fight online on the street. Thank you so much, Dwayne. Appreciate you. I would say, furthermore, his response, his unwillingness to admit that he tried to depict himself as Jesus.
Well, they did delete the post. You know that, right?
Yeah, but let me finish. What I think made it worse is that he denied that he was trying to depict himself as Jesus. He tried to claim that he was depicting himself as a Red Cross doctor.
Okay, and I agree. I agree that he did not think that. But what does this change about what he's doing? He's in general, Trump is a big shot type of guy. I agree, but he's doing a lot.
No, he's doing a terrible job because it's clear.
Tell me what is he doing wrong?
Sure,
what is he doing wrong? Let's talk about what he's doing.
Sure,
yes,
let's talk about the war in Iran. Do you agree with the war in Iran?
100%.
What are the primary objectives of the conflict?
The primary objective is to destroy the nuclear program.
Sure.
That's mainly.
Let's talk about that for a second. So, are you familiar with Operation Midnight Hammer?
Yeah, I think so. I mean,
what is it?
I mean, somewhat. You're talking about the attack before the real war started on the nuclear sites.
Yeah, so there was an operation conducted in the summer of 2025. Donald Trump claimed that he attacked their enrichment facilities, dropped what we call bunker busters on their enrichment facilities, and then claimed that operation was a success. They were years away from developing nuclear weapons, and that this was the most successful operation ever conducted in cooperation with Israel. You know, he makes these declarations all the time of victory, and then claimed it was a primary objective just months later. Can you tell me, if that is the case, how is it a primary objective, and what is the imminent threat specifically?
What is the imminent threat that they're trying to destroy, you're saying? What do you...
In order to invade another country, you need to provide there's some kind of hostility defense. For instance, the Cuban Missile Crisis is an example of an imminent threat. A country is... do you know what the word imminent means?
Currently a threat?
Imminent means it's happening now or about to happen, right? So a country
Right, so
is
currently
actively
it's, okay.
organizing troops for deployment. A country is pointing
Right.
missiles in the
Actively
direction
creating
of the...
nuclear weapons, right?
No, not
Yeah,
actively creating nuclear weapons.
Actively creating nuclear weapons, 100%.
That's not what the word
What are you
imminent
talking
means.
about?
So, for instance, if I know you're not...
You just said...
I know you're not very bright, but you have to let me finish, and I'll explain.
Right.
So Judy B,
Okay.
thank you so much,
Okay.
Judy B. Did you watch the House Intel Committee hearing when our intelligence agencies testified in front of the committee?
No.
Okay, well then you wouldn't know. So our intelligence agencies, Tulsi Gabbard in specific, could not provide there was an imminent threat within 90 days. I'm going to play a clip for you really quick.
Within 90 days?
Yes.
Why do you care within 90? Are you going to be alive in next 90 days? I hope so.
What?
Why does it matter if
Let
it's
me-
in 90 days? What are you talking
I'm
about?
going to help you out. I'm going to play a
Oh
clip
my
for you.
God,
This is going to
you're
make it much easier.
stupid.
Do you know who the Secretary of State is?
Yeah.
Who is it?
Marco Rubio.
Right, and he's pretty close to the president, right? He's his guy,
100%.
especially when it comes to
Mhm.
things like this. So I'm going to play a clip for you. I'm going to put you on hold, and I want you to listen to this clip, and I want you to tell me if you still
I'm not on
wanna...
your stream right now.
Okay, well, you got to put what?
Does that matter?
How did you know that I was live?
No, I was on your stream, then I used the same phone.
Yeah, so
to call,
I'm going to put you on
I'm-
hold. Pull up my stream and watch what I'm about to play.
Okay, fine.
Okay. Let's play this. This guy's arguing here, just to reiterate for the chat, that Iran was an imminent threat. So let's take a listen to what Marco Rubio says about whether or not Iran was an imminent threat. Kind of fixes it pretty quickly, I would say.
Have been asked is, why now? Well, there's two reasons why now. The first is it was abundantly clear that if Iran came under attack by anyone, the United States or Israel or anyone, they were going to respond against the United States. And in fact, it bared to be true because, in fact, within an hour of the initial attack on the leadership compound, the missile forces in the south and in the north. The third is the assessment that we hit them. We knew this, and the President made the very wise decision. We knew that there was going to be an Israeli action. We knew that that would precipitate an attack against American forces, and we knew that if we didn't preemptively go after them before they launched those attacks, we would suffer higher casualties and perhaps even higher those killed.
Let's bring him back. Wait, we'll give you a second to catch up really quick and listen to what was just said.
Yeah.
Just wait.
Mm-hmm.
So the problem is,
okay.
If
I can only hear the first part.
Sure. So he said we knew there was going to be an Israeli action, and we knew that that would cause Iran to retaliate against U.S. military bases. So we launched preemptive strikes to prevent that from happening. If Israel is planning to attack a country, and this country is going to respond as a result of those attacks, then Israel becomes the imminent threat. Oop, he hung up. He hung up. He hung up. I guess he didn't want to talk. I don't know. I don't know. What happened, dude? What happened? If you're a Trump supporter, call in 908-652-3703. Yes, are you a Trump supporter?
Yes, absolutely yes.
Okay, and do you support why do you support Trump?
Because first, he's a Republican. The Democrat Party is a party of the KKK. Is a party of the Jim Crow
Oh my
laws.
God! If I have to explain this to you,
Can I finish?
No, I don't want to tell you. The Democrats are the party. The KKK is the dumbest fucking surface level elementary
Are
conversation.
you a Democrat?
No, technically not. I vote with Democrats because
okay.
Republicans are fascist. So
Oh, okay. Do you support Israel?
no.
Okay. Do you support what happened in Germany in 1945?
Do I support what happened to Germany? I support liberating Europe.
Okay. So how do you support what happened to Germany in 1945 and you don't support Israel, what is full of Jews?
Hold on. Is that a legitimate question?
Yeah.
Is that a legitimate
absolutely.
Okay, so you're telling me that you're equating Iran to the Nazi party of 1930s
No.
and early
I'm talking
40s
about
Germany?
Israel.
Yeah, what about
Israel.
Israel? What about it?
Yes. Okay, Israel. If you don't know, Israel is full of Jews. Okay,
Guy,
and
I
if you don't support fascism, you support Israel, right? But you say you don't support Jews. You don't support Israel.
No, that's not what that means.
How come?
I don't support the Israeli government. What I think Israel is an apartheid state. It's a they have
okay.
Do you
how
think,
the people elected that government?
Do you okay? So I don't support Israel because they are an apartheid state. Okay, do you know what that means? Do you understand?
Yes,
how do
I
you
know
think
what
how do you think Israel treats the Palestinian people? Like
Palestinian elected Hamas and Israelis elected their government. And if you say you are against the government of Israel, you are against of the will of the people of Israel, right?
No. So has Israel committed
How so?
a genocide in Gaza?
No. No, I can explain why.
Did you just say no?
Absolutely not.
Tell me how it's not a genocide. What is a genocide?
Genocide when you try to cleanse, genocide what happened to the Jews in 1945 on the Germany Nazi. That's what happened. That is genocide.
What is a genocide?
Yes. I don't know the definition, but I know how the word is used.
Oh, clearly you don't. Do you know any tenets of genocide? Right? Do you know like what patterns indicate it's genocide? Do you know how many people have been killed in Gaza since 2023? Do you know what percentage of the population in Gaza are children?
Absolutely. This is on Hamas.
Do you think it was systematic destruction of a population, not just a war in Gaza?
There is no destruction of the population. It's destruction of Hamas and their supporters.
It was not of Hamas. There was have you seen Gaza? Dude, no one argues this. Have you seen Gaza lately? It's entirely rubble. Do you realize how many people have died? Do you realize how many of those are little babies? It is absolutely a systematic destruction of the population. Okay, Israel. So tell me, explain to me why Israel has imposed blockades on food, water, medicine, fuel, electricity. If it's just a war.
No, they didn't blockade. They blockade the weapons coming from Iran.
Listen, wrong.
Because
wrong.
Hamas
you don't know
is the proxy
anything.
of
How many
Iran.
flotillas have been stopped by the Israeli Navy that were just filled with food and water? Do you know what? Okay,
you're talking about the Greta Thunberg.
Let's talk
caravan?
about what a genocide is, or how international law defines a genocide. Okay, deliberately what?
I don't know the definition of genocide, but I can tell that what is committing, Israel is trying to protect themselves from Hezbollah, from the Lebanon militia, from Iran, and also from Hamas.
Listen,
that's what I know.
First
and
of
they
all,
they are Jews, and they escaped from the genocide of Nazi Germany.
Shut up,
and people
dude.
who
Just shut up.
condemn,
Just shut up. Okay. I
people
don't.
who
No one is
Nazis,
falling for what you're saying. Okay. No one is falling for what you're saying.
Okay.
The fact that you deny what's happened in Gaza as a genocide just proves to me that you're really not interested in the truth. Okay, you're not interested in the truth. Your argument, how can you possibly argue that it's not a genocide when you don't know what the word means? Do you think that they're deliberately trying to destroy a whole group of people? Yes or no?
No.
Ah, okay. Well, then you're dishonest. You're a dishonest. You have no idea what you're talking about. And listen, have a good day. If you're going to keep weaponizing the Holocaust for the Israeli government to unalive babies in Palestine, I'm not even interested in entertaining your argument. It's too stupid for me to even entertain. Okay? This is according to international law. International law. Israel has discrimination, unequal treatment, harsh policies. Israel is an apartheid.
Call from.
Yes, are you a Trump supporter?
Yes, I am.
How old are you? Yeah.
Call from.
Means you're a kid. Are you a Trump supporter?
Hello?
Are you a Trump supporter?
Oh, no, I'm not a Trump supporter. I wanted to ask something.
Okay, well, you can ask me in the comments section. Man, that gets me fucking worked up when someone denies that that's a genocide. It's crazy, bro. I just told you. Like, do you guys know what percentage of the population in Gaza are children? In Palestine are children? Have you ever actually investigated and looked this up? Nearly 50%. Nearly 50%. Are you a Trump supporter?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so tell me really quick, just to get a surface level understanding of what kind of Trump supporter you are. All right, I don't know what's happening with this guy. He's fucking lagging or something. Call back if you want to fix your thing there.
Call from.
Yes, are you a Trump supporter?
I did vote for Trump, yes.
Okay. So real quick, just to get a surface level understanding of what kind of Trump supporter you are, how did you feel about Donald Trump depicting himself as Jesus?
I don't think that is okay. I think imitating yourself as God obviously isn't a normal thing. I actually had a question.
Are you a Trump
I have
supporter?
one thing. Yes.
Answer my fucking question, or I'll kick you.
I just did. I don't think it's okay.
All right. So okay, go ahead.
Okay, so one good thing I think happened with Venezuela when it comes to, with the whole Maduro, the liberation or quote unquote liberation. From what I understand,
This wasn't liberation though, but I understand what you're saying.
Okay. I'm arguing in good faith here. I'm not
is,
trying
is
to.
liberation an objective in the Iranian conflict? Are the Persian
Well,
people
can I-
being liberated?
Can you let me just finish kind of where I'm coming from?
Yeah, go ahead. Just hurry up.
So China's been making debts to other countries that they otherwise can't pay back, and Venezuela, from what I understand, was one of those countries where they were giving loans out to Venezuela, but they couldn't pay it back. So they would come and they would take their resources, forcefully. Do you think it's a good thing that Trump put Venezuela off the debt collector list of China?
No, I do not think that he should have toppled the leadership in Venezuela.
So I'm just using that as one example of what I think. One example of what I think.
I know,
Trump
but
did.
here's the problem, dude. You guys always have these fantasy objectives, right? You always have these things Trump is doing and not really saying, right? That's the problem. Like Trump said they were
I'm just
executing
coming
a
up
search
with
warrant.
one example.
So are you saying the guy was the guy a drug dealer or no? Was like, are we making up? Because what you're seriously saying here is that we're making up hostility defenses. We're making up the countries.
No,
are
what I'm
Hold
saying
on.
is
Didn't you tell me not to interrupt, and then you're interrupting me the minute I start talking?
Okay, yeah.
See, this
Go
is
ahead.
the
Go
problem
ahead,
that
man.
I have is that you guys have this like don't interrupt policy, but the minute I start speaking, you start yapping.
All right.
What
Keep
you're
going, my man.
basically arguing is that as a government, we're allowing our government to make up that countries are imminent threats to our country so we can topple their leadership for geopolitical purposes. No, I would not support that. Right? I wouldn't support that.
So you think Venezuela was better how it was?
That's not the point. The United States need not be involved. I also don't agree with the
Well,
blockade they've put on
That's
Cuba
kind of what
they're
I'm
attempting
talking
to
to you
starve an
about.
entire.
That's the point.
The guy asked me a
That's
question
what
and
I'm-
then just keeps talking. Like, you see what I mean? He has a no, don't interrupt policy. But as soon as he asks me a question and I start replying,
It sounds like you're the one with the no interrupt policy.
You got to shut the fuck up. You asked me a question. I shut up and let you speak. Why are you not letting me speak?
Are you
Why
still
obstructing
talking my free speech?
All right, watch this. Watch this. Watch how easy it is. I don't have to beg you to talk. I can just kick you, right? It's that simple. If I'm talking, don't talk, right? It's that simple. Number one, I don't support vet. I'll finish what I'm saying, regardless of whether or not you let me finish
Call
it.
from
I
Cloud-
also don't support the blockade that they've put on Cuba. They're actively attempting to starve an entire population of people. Somebody's got a fucked
Call
up
from-
mic here. They're actively trying to starve an entire population of people as a result of toppling the leadership in Venezuela. Go ahead. Are you a Trump supporter?
Yes.
Okay, so go ahead. Do you support Trump? Why?
Yes.
Go ahead.
I don't actually. He's a big sinner, and I'm a Christian.
I agree
And
with
I
you.
think what you're doing is great. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Appreciate it. You have a really bad microphone. No offense. It's really, really bad.
Hold on here.
Yeah, you have a really,
Is that better?
really...
Is that better?
Yes, that's better. Go ahead. Are you a Trump supporter?
So Trump as a person can fuck right off. But there's a thing between the bad messenger and a great message, and that's what you're failing to see. And I understand where you're coming from, but here's some facts for you. Be a man right now. Look up, Google, in front of your fans. You're saying
No,
a genocide.
I'm
You
not-
talked over that guy. You talked over that guy
It is
so
a
much.
genocide.
He was so
It
nice.
is a genocide, you fucking Zionist. Fuck out of here. According to an international court, it's a fucking genocide, you Zionist. Fuck out of here. Tell me it's not a fuck. Get out of here, you Zionist. You think I'm going to give you a platform to yap your fucking nonsense? It is a fucking genocide. Cry about it. Deal with it. It's a genocide.
Call from-
It's a genocide. Deal with it. I know you don't like it. You fucking deal with it. Are you a Trump supporter?
Yeah.
Yes. Do you still support Trump?
Yeah.
Okay. And tell me, how do you feel about the war in Iran?
I support it, but I was listening to like what you were saying before. It's like, how can you hate on Israel when they're like our biggest ally?
Because Israel is an apartheid state, and Israel commits genocide, and Israel recklessly bombs countries and kills civilians and children and educational institutions and hospitals and preschools. Shall I fucking go on? You
How is Israel
war
an
criminal
apartheid
chicken hawks. You war. This live's not about Israel. You Zionists. I know every time I mention this, you guys get in your feelings. You're gonna fucking deal with it, and you're gonna like it. All right. You're going to deal with it, and you're going to like it. When a government intentionally kills a specific group of people or makes life so unbearable that group cannot survive, that is a genocide. That is what's happened in Gaza. And if you don't think that's
Call
true,
from-
it's because you don't know what you're talking about.
Jason.
Nothing
To
more,
accept, press
nothing
1. To
less.
send a voicemail, press 2.
Yes, are you a Trump supporter?
Not in the slightest.
Okay, well, I'm looking for Trump supporters, but I appreciate you calling in.
But can I just...
If you are a Trump supporter, call in 908-652-3703. What that guy said, worser? Yeah, I would expect someone like that to say worser.
Call from
You hung up.
Guy, don't call multiple times in a row. Doink. You're damn right I hung up on you. Shut up. You're going to deal with it. It's a fact. You're going to deal with it. I don't support unaliving innocent babies.
from-
Just like I call out the U.S. government for unaliving innocent babies in Iran. Are you a Trump
Hi, how you
supporter?
doing, man?
By the way, to 3 Dits, you keep saying you're a fool in chat, but you're spelling "you're" wrong. So now you're permanently muted. Are you a Trump supporter?
Yes. And you hung up on me.
Oh,
Call
no,
from-
you're not a Trump supporter. I told you before. Shut up. Don't call in again. Yes, go ahead. Are you a Trump supporter?
You know what? I really was. I was a hardcore Trump supporter just recently.
W in the chat if you don't support genocide. W in the chat. Man, guys, this is why we have such an issue with foreign influence in this country, right? Look how many people support this fucking agenda. Look how many people. Look how many people. It's sick, dude. It really is. You're a Trump supporter? Go ahead.
I was a lot up until just recently when I found out about the whole APEC and the Zionist thing. It's just crazy. It's crazy. I feel like we're
Crazy.
being occupied by Jews, man, and they're the ones
All
calling
right,
the shots.
listen. It's the Israeli government's agenda. Don't say Jews. I mean, that's not what we're talking about here. What we're talking about is let's stick to the Israeli government. The Jews is now you're bleeding into anti-Semitism. I'm talking specifically about the actions of the Israeli government. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm not trying to be that guy. I'm just you know what I'm saying, like the whole Zionist thing.
Yeah, I understand exactly what you're saying. AIPAC dumps millions of dollars into elections, right, to make sure people who call the Israeli government's bad behavior out don't get elected. There was just an election in Illinois. Kat Abu Ghazaleh, AIPAC, the American Israeli PAC, dumped tons of money into this election. This was just a random person running in Illinois. They dumped a ton of money to make sure she didn't win because she didn't support genocide. Quite literally.
Yeah, I feel it, man. And it was up until just recently when the whole Iran thing, man. It was like Trump was the first so much for America, putting America first. Now it feels like, Israel first.
It is Israel first, man. It is Israel first. We wouldn't be in Iran if it wasn't Israel. Benjamin Netanyahu has Trump wrapped around his finger. And honestly, our entire government is... I mean, have you ever seen Lindsey Graham talk about the... Let me play a clip for you guys. This will just get you all pissed off really quick, and that's my entire intention. So hold on. Let me just play a clip for you guys. I want you to just see an example of what AIPAC... Let's see if I can find this here.
I personally think it could be a blackmail with the Epstein files.
Well, I think the Epstein files are part of it in terms of the narrative, for sure.
Trump's got money. We know that, but he always going to want some more.
But I don't think they have to blackmail him. The U.S. population is already demanding they be released. There was a law that was passed by Congress that demanded that all of the files be released by December 19th. They didn't comply with the law, and they're actively trying to escape accountability when it comes to that. And so I think just changing the narrative could be the simple reason why he decided to pull the trigger on this, right?
It could be that, or it could be that they're going to JFK him, or Charlie Kirk him, or any of the other countless celebrities and politicians that.
Well, Trump is no JFK, but I mean, what I'm saying is
but JFK him.
No, dude, Trump is just an Israel puppet like any other politician, like Lindsey Graham, right? The clip I was looking for was Lindsey Graham saying on Fox News, I think it was, we should send all our stuff to Israel. God bless Israel. Thank you. And that clip pisses me off so much. You know what I mean? Like, you just give all our stuff to Israel. God bless Israel. Thank you.
The only thing that the left and right can agree on is what's in Israel's best interest.
Yeah, but the problem is, and I explained this the other day to somebody who talked about this, when it comes to the difference, right, let's discuss it. The difference is typically when I explain this to people on the right side of the political spectrum, they tend to go down the route of absolute isolationism. Isolationism is part of what caused World War II. So while I do believe we need to start focusing more on American citizens and less on foreign conflict, I do not think that we should completely ignore, for instance, a country like Russia, increasing its foothold in the region, right, or expanding territory and their threat to NATO, right? I think certain alliances are important in maintaining global peace. But I do think, for the most part, especially in the Middle East, the United States need not be involved. We need to start caring for American citizens in the United States who can't pay for their prescriptions. American citizens have to take out GoFundMes to pay for their insulin. Insulin.
America first.
This country, I mean, seriously, is like, how can you be okay with this? How can you be? I don't care where you are. How can you be okay with this? How much money is being flushed down the drain right now? It's completely for Israel. Completely for Israel.
Have you gone down the whole rabbit hole about them poisoning our food and
listen, I don't want to get. Listen, there's a lot of conspiracies out there, and I feel like you're going to head a step in the wrong direction here, and I'm not going to support it. So I'll just end this now. But thank you for calling in. I appreciate it. I do not support the Israeli government, but unfortunately, what happens is kind of proves my point is that sometimes when I discuss this, you get far right wing people that start to go down the route of anti-Semitism. I have no problem with Jewish people. I have a problem with the Israeli government. Okay. And by the way, just so people know this, there are plenty of Jewish people who agree with me. I have tons of friends that agree with me that are Jewish. There are groups that are Jewish that oppose what Israel's doing in Palestine. We have people like Chuck Schumer who claim they care about people that get up there and send money to or send bulldozers to Israel so they can destroy. Have you guys seen pictures of Gaza and they try and claim it's not a genocide? Oh, my God. Are you a Trump supporter?
Yes, I am.
So real quick, just curious, just to grasp how much of a Trump supporter you are, what kind of Trump supporter you are. Do you think that Donald Trump committed blasphemy by depicting himself as Jesus?
I would think so. But
Guys, just to clarify with Alaska, I'm not saying that the U.S. government isn't, or that our food is not. We don't have major issues with our food. We do, but I have a feeling that conversation might have been going down a different path in blaming a specific population of people, and I'm not doing that. I don't think our government cares that our food has the issues that it has. I don't think they give a shit. I think they want us to be sick and uneducated and unwilling to fucking fight back against their fascist agenda, and that's what I think. Are you? So go ahead, dude. What did you say about the the Trump?
I am a Trump supporter. I do want to ask: do you support the president? Do you support? No. Okay. So for me, I support Trump. I supported Biden. I didn't vote for Biden, but of course I'm going to support and hope that the president does well and that he doesn't do bad. Now the war on Iran, that's got me confused, right? Because there's not a clear objective on this. I'm prior Air Force. Yeah, exactly. I'm prior Air Force, and I got out in 2022, right? And before I got out, I got sent to unclassified. I can talk about it. It's not conspiracy, but I got sent to an unclassified briefing. I was enlisted, and then they sent one enlisted, one officer, right? And this was focused. It was a whole week-long briefing about China and how China planned on becoming a global superpower by 2050. And this is what we were anticipating. But during this briefing, they said, "Well, it's looking more like 2025." And at the time, we didn't really have a plan on how to combat this. And then I look at this Trump's presidency, and you have tariffs right off the bat. I'm not a fan of tariffs. At all, right? And I fully understand tariffs. I'm in the business world now, and I understand how much that's affecting us, right? And Trump, supposedly a businessman, right? He should understand how much tariffs is affecting business, right? I import a lot of equipment from Italy, and it's definitely affecting global economics right now, and not just in the U.S., globally. But you look at tariffs, then you look at Venezuela, then you look at Iran, Greenland, his threats to Greenland, and then now what's going on in Cuba, right? It's okay, and you're going to probably call me a conspiracy theorist, but I can't help to think without a clear objective. And then you look at Pete Hegseth's meeting last year when he called all the generals. It hasn't been done since since we invaded Iraq and Afghanistan. And then it was about beefing up our military, stopping the beards, upping fitness standards. That's what was known to the public. But I can't help to think, was there another briefing, talking about how we're going to take over all these countries that directly affect China because they're becoming the global superpower? So in a way, I'm hoping I'm right with that theory, or else there's no clear objective,
Well, the administration disagrees with you. So the administration, let's pretend for a second I'm them arguing on their behalf, what they would claim is, well, there is a clear objective. The objective is that Iran is a threat in terms of their nuclear deployment.
Right.
And they're enriching uranium to weapons grade to develop a nuclear missile and the technology to deploy that missile to hit the United States. So they would disagree with you in terms of that in particular. And there's others, like in terms of the Strait of Hormuz and things like that. But ultimately, they would argue the IRGC is a direct threat to the United States, to the American people.
I mean, and I think that's what, and I don't think there's full transparency there, right? Because we're you know, the whole thing with Venezuela is with drugs coming through the border, and it's like, okay, well, and then you look at Iran, and we're talking about enrichment, and we can't have, you know, Iran with nukes. Well, we have North Korea with nukes. You know, we have other countries, and you know, and also China has like its own NATO too. You got North Korea, Iran, you got Russia. You know, but I mean, I understand where you're coming from as far as, you know, what they're telling the American public, but I truly do think there's and I hope that there's a clear objective behind, you know, not just Iran obtaining nukes and we're not cleared and then we're moving into weapons of mass destruction like we were, you know, trying for years and years trying to find that with.
I mean, he could acknowledge that there would be like an indirect benefit, but again, like, would you support like illegally toppling a regime simply to hurt China? Like, and I mean, we could have an argument about how China still wins in other areas. China's still growing in Latin America, in Africa, right? So I don't think there's a flawless. I don't think there's like some flawless campaign, secret conspiracy campaign he's running against China. But ultimately, I mean, I think that, I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility he's thinking, oh, this could potentially like indirectly benefit us this way. But regardless, like, we're still in Iran, right? We're stuck in this situation where we can't come to an agreement, and we can't open the Strait of Hormuz without like a real presence or a continued presence. So I would argue it was better to not touch Iran and really just pull out of the Middle East entirely.
Yeah, absolutely. If we were there for what, you know, the American public thinks that we're there for, I would 100% agree with you. I think there's a and you questioned I think a few callers ago about imminent, but I think there could possibly be, you know, some maybe some insider knowledge that or intelligence that we gather that China is possibly plotting something and we're trying to get ahead of it. And that's what I'm hoping.
I've heard this before. I've been hearing this for a long time, buying up farmland, and that there was I don't, again, is it possible? Yeah, but again, I don't think Trump is this like mastermind that's ultimately preparing for this. I just don't. The Iran thing, I think, kind of debunks it entirely, because this war was done with little preparation. So here's where I think the issue comes. If he was doing this, right, if it was this strategic attempt to weaken China, then wouldn't there have been more preparation for this dismantling of this regime? Because I would argue that Donald Trump and our intelligence agencies went into this incredibly unprepared. They didn't understand how the IRGC was structured. They thought that conducting decapitation strikes and encouraging an already hostile population, a population that wants to uprise against their people, to uprise against their people. An 86-year-old supreme leader was killed. They had a 3-man council set up just days later, and then they installed the son as the supreme leader. And according to our intelligence agencies, the regime is up and running. Actively up and running, and they're negotiating with the United States. Donald Trump can say regime change has occurred, but it hasn't. So if that was truly the case, wouldn't he have been more prepared? Wouldn't there have been more preparation in this plan to dismantle the IRGC? Wouldn't we have a more organized plan rather than getting stuck here and Donald Trump throwing temper tantrums on Truth Social? This is the problem I have, dude, right? You're kind of arguing that Trump is a strategist and he's secretly doing all of these things to ultimately prevent China from growing and hurting the United States. But when he does things like invade Iran, it's clear he's woefully unprepared.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't think Trump came up with this plan by himself. And, I mean, even if you look at, like, the Chief Master Sergeant of the Air Force, right, just recently retired in January, and then the newly appointed Chief Master Sergeant of the Air Force, his whole career has been based off of, like, treating China as an adversary and combating, you know, Chinese intelligence, right? So like you see like little moves like that, and it's like, okay, now we're putting people in power who are focusing more on China, even though and this is happening at the military level, right? And so at the DoD level, but I mean,
Let me say this really quick,
right?
just to a couple people in
sorry.
chat I've seen say that Trump never said that there was regime change. You're wrong. So the day that Trump, first of all, he said it multiple times, but the tweet, the Truth Social that he put out about a whole civilization dying tonight, which is kind of what I'm talking about with this guy, right? Throwing a temper tantrum to threaten a country is not strategy, right? This indicates he's in a corner, and if he was this strategist and he was as competent as you're saying enough to have this strategy to weaken China, I think he'd be more prepared for an invasion like this, right? It'd be a part of the process would be preparation to make sure you can successfully dismantle the regime. I'll read it. A whole civilization will die tonight, never to be brought back again. I don't want that to happen, but it probably will. However, now that we have complete and total regime change, where different, smarter, and less radicalized minds prevail, maybe something will happen. So Donald Trump claimed that there was regime change because he can't accomplish it like he does with everything else. When he realizes that he can't actually force regime change, he claims he already did it, right? That's what he does. He's always done that with everything.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and if I can go back to in 2019, our global hawks from UAE, right? And then we were fully prepared. And I was in Kuwait at the time. I was at Ali Aslim Air Base, and this is one of the air bases that has gotten hit the hardest throughout all of this, right? And I was working base defense operations. Again, this is all unclassified, and this is all on the national media as well. Trump that night, he was saying that we were going to hit him hard, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we were. We had intel that, or not intel. We had direction that from Ali Aslim, we were going to hit Iran's some sort of satellite site. I wasn't too familiar with it, but as me working base defense, my goal was to protect the base, right? Our base commander was in his pajamas freaking out. The strike was supposed to happen at 0200, and it's 0145, and Trump calls off the strike, and he goes on the national media the next morning saying that we called it off and it was a last minute decision, but he was 100% accurate that it was going to happen that night, and we were going to get in war then, which is 100% crazy, because Ali Aslim, as soon as this all got kicked off, and thankfully we were a little bit better prepared because we did evacuate this time, right? So we evacuated troops and mitigated loss of life, right? And at the time, if we would have struck in 2019, it would have been a complete disaster. But going back, with the whole regime change, that seems like more like Israel's goal. Our goal right now seems like it's assets and not so much like killing off political leaders in Iran.
But that's changed. Again, I'm just trying to get you to understand what in the beginning he wanted to do and what he's now saying he wants to do are two different things. Regime change was absolutely a part of the goal. That's how you accomplish everything else. If you have regime change, then guess what? You don't have to have these sit-downs and come to an agreement on whether or not you're going to have enriched uranium or you're trying to enrich uranium to develop a nuclear weapon. You have people that you do what you've always done historically, right? You install some temporary government. That's probably what they were trying to do. Do you remember when Netanyahu and Trump first spoke immediately when the strikes occurred? They said to the Iranian people, both of them, now is your time to rise up. It's going to take, you're not going to have another chance for generations. They truly believed that because they were out protesting, right, all these protests and stuff were occurring, that if they killed the supreme leader and they killed some of these other people, that the people would ultimately uprise and potentially do the work that boots on the ground otherwise would have had to do to successfully conduct regime change. Trump knows you can't have regime change without boots on the ground, right? But if you have an uprising from the Iranian people and they do the work for you, I think so I think it was a part of it. I just think it was a failure. I think the original mission was a failure. I also, by the way, did you listen to the House Intel Committee hearing? Did you hear Tulsi Gabbard and what she said about an imminent threat and what she said about the Strait of Hormuz and whether or not they collect intelligence and then conduct a threat analysis, or whether or not they just provide the intelligence to the president? These people are incompetent and underqualified. They don't know what the fuck they're doing. So I can't buy into this theory that it's this, brilliant strategy to weaken China. I don't buy. Again, and by the way, we haven't even accomplished what we want to accomplish in Iran yet, so we can't even really have that conversation.
Right. So, do you think? if you don't mind, if I can ask you a question, like, do you mind, or do you think like Venezuela and tariffs and Greenland, do you think this all ties into this, or do you think that each case is completely separate? You know, we're focused on Venezuela because the drugs imports and has nothing to do with oil or their domestic politics with China. And the same thing with Greenland has been our you know, for the minerals, and China also have an interest in Greenland. And then what's the point of the tariffs? You know,
I mean, I think Venezuela definitely does tie into limiting China's strength, if that's what you're asking me. But I think it's more about like just geopolitics as a whole. As far as Greenland, are you saying, do I agree with him taking Greenland? No. I don't think Donald Trump should be president, dude, let alone support his agenda.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah.
Right. I'm right there with you. Like, I mean, not as far as him not being president, but you know, it's just like there's so many unknowns. It's hard for the American public to, and me included. I'm not trying to act like I'm like superior, smarter because I served in the military for a couple of years. You know, I'm just trying to like understand it all. You know, and it's like for me, there's connections I'm trying to make between everything without being, I'm like anti-conspiratorial too. I'm not trying to get into conspiracy theories. You know, I'm just trying to look at it from a strategic mindset. It's like, okay, dude, there has to be something like underlying of why we're doing all this, because none of it.
I
like,
understand what you're saying. Yes,
like nothing makes sense. You know?
I understand what you're saying. I think you're looking for a reason to support this, though, instead of just admitting that, you know, these people are. I mean, I think Donald Trump is. I mean, would you support our government lying about an imminent threat to topple leadership regardless of the benefit?
Regardless of the benefit. So it would have to, you would have to state the benefit, man. You know
okay,
what I mean?
So let's say there's the benefit
like,
is, would you, all right, I'll be specific. If it's truly about weakening China, do you think that would be okay for our government to lie about an imminent threat, in this case, that he was smuggling drugs into the United States? I mean, they originally were claiming it was fentanyl, and then that wasn't even in the criminal indictment, which I think proves they were being dishonest in their justification. But would you support our country just lying? Because here's the thing, dude. I thought we all agreed that the government shouldn't, like, we're not going to trust the government to lie to us about why we go into wars. They don't have a good history of completing those tasks for an alternate agenda. I mean, did you serve in the global war on terror? That war was based off a lie. Iraq in specific, weapons of mass destruction, right? Connections to 9/11. Neither of those things were true. So I'm not okay with the fact that if this is the case, our government's not telling us the real reason they're doing this. If you're arguing that there's some kind of benefit that we're not aware of, and Trump must know something, Trump must have a plan here. Well, I don't trust Trump enough to allow him to just decide secretly that this is what's best for the interests of the American people, for my children, for your children, for our future, without laying that out for the American people. This is why we have elected representatives. This is why we have an allocation of war powers, and why the president should lay this out to Congress if it's the true case. This is not a dictatorship, my guy. This is not a dictatorship.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and you know, and going back to the whole benefit that, you know, if China is the world peacekeepers that they claim to be, you know, and they're not a threat to America, then absolutely not. You know, I wouldn't agree to lie to the American people. But if they are a threat, you know, and they are planning something, then absolutely, then I would support it, especially if it, like, you know, means mass destruction to our country. And I think you could agree with, you know,
but that's not what that was a little different from what I asked. But I understand what you're saying, but we don't have any evidence of that, right? So we can't.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and you're right, and you know, but I mean. I don't know,
it looks like a self-serving. I'll just say it looks like to me. It looks like a self-serving oil grab, right? It breaks international law. It risks more bloodshed, escalating tensions geopolitically. I don't like Iran specifically risks long-term occupation. This seems to be the trend. This seems to be what we've done historically as well, and I think the United States needs to move in a direction of starting to address some of the problems here at home and less about engaging specifically in the Middle East. I mean, specifically in the Middle East. The war in Iran, to me, is just totally not worth it. I mean, when it comes down to the consequences, as we're witnessing, it's just not worth it. And the Middle East has never been worth it. I mean, you have to be crazy to think you'd be successful in doing what he really wanted to do there, regardless of what it was.
Right. Yeah. And and I agree with you. And yeah, there's definitely a lot of domestic things we can focus on. And I mean, a lot of it has to do with the mass inflation. I'm not blaming Biden either. I think the stimulus checks between Trump's first term and then Biden's second term, that increased inflation like crazy. And then alongside with the Federal Reserve being late to raise interest rates when the housing market was just absolutely booming, right? People were getting, home loans for 2% and they were buying $500,000 homes, and then I'm sorry.
Yeah. No. Everyone knows it. Government spending right after the pandemic and supply chains and all that stuff. The Ukraine war also, by the way. But that's not the point. The point is do you think Donald Trump is at all sympathetic to the American people who are struggling right now to just put gas in their car because of his rash decision making? I mean, because he's talking into the camera like, hey, guys, it's just a necessary consequence. This is quite literally what he told the American people. Because, by the way, why would this be a conspiracy if it was true? If China really was preparing something, don't you think there'd be a way to sell this to the American people rather than just lying? Don't you think there'd be a way to sell this better than saying, guys, this is a short-term investment for your children's future so they don't get hit by a nuke? Like that's literally what he said in his address to the country about Iran, that this is a short-term investment. Wouldn't there be a way? I would think they'd be better with public relations, right? Like you'd think there'd be some kind of way to establish that this is worth it for the American people, especially if there was a legitimate imminent threat from a global superpower like China. So this is why I just can't believe that it's all connected in the way that you said. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I see what you're saying, but at the same time, like if we're doing all this and without China knowing or trying to not let China know, like and make it completely obvious that
well, yeah, you can do it without saying it directly, though. You can say it. You could definitely say it in a better way than you're saying it. Don't you agree? And by the way, do you think China's dumb enough to not understand that if it's true? Do you think like you're sneaking up on them? I mean, come on. Would they not be aware that this is occurring? I mean, look, obviously there are benefits to these things. I'm not going to deny, specifically with Venezuela. But that's not the point is I don't think that I think you're going to be very disappointed if you think this is ultimately, some like, secret strategy that is going to end up coming out, the other side in a positive way.
I mean, I'm a Trump supporter, but like I said, I'm whoever's the president, I'm going to support them, and because at the end of the day, I support America.
So can I tell you why I don't support Trump? I mean, I'll give you a number of different reasons. First of all, his policies have had, extremely negative consequences for the American people. His deportation policy has caused the execution of American citizens in Minnesota. I watched ICE personally brutalize people on a regular basis in Minnesota, not how informed you are in the battle for Minneapolis, but that's a direct result of his policies. People were quite literally brutalized, beaten, had water poured on them. I mean, by the way, an ICE agent was just charged today, chat. An ICE agent just got charged today by Hennepin County, just so you guys know, for pulling his firearm on a civilian. Trucker John, thank you so much. Appreciate for the one gifted membership. Appreciate you. 2 charges, I believe there was, of second-degree assault. So that's an example. Trump is in the Epstein files, dude. The Department of Justice is actively obstructing justice on the orders of Donald Trump to keep the Epstein files from the American people. Do you support that? Do you support the fact that his deputy attorney general, now the acting attorney general, is his personal attorney who's a part of that scheme? Are you happy with the fact the administration sent that deputy attorney general to sit down with one of the most infamous sex offenders, pedophiles in the world, Ghislaine Maxwell, and then transferred her to a minimum security prison so that she couldn't testify in front of the oversight committee? Are you concerned at all about the victim's testimony in the files that indicate Donald Trump may be a sexual abuser? Do you like? I mean, there's a million different things I could point to that I don't support of Donald Trump's. I mean, his effect on the negotiations in Russia and Ukraine is going to allow for Russia to have a stronger foothold in the region. If Donald Trump is such a strategic genius, why is he not taking the side of Ukraine and limiting Russia's power in these negotiations? They're actively trying to convince the United States or the Zelensky and the Ukrainian government to surrender the Donbass region, which is their economic heartland, which will significantly weaken their sovereignty, making it more likely that Russia can swallow Ukraine in the future and eventually attack a NATO ally in Poland.
Right.
Why is
Yeah,
Donald
no,
Trump
I
letting
mean,
Russia off the hook in Ukraine if there's this whole strategy to limit global superpowers like that?
right. Yeah. And sorry, you're jumping here, and
Well, I'm just giving you a number of different. I could go, Guy. I could do this for the next hour and not stop talking. There are so many things that he's done that I disagree with. But let's start with the Epstein stuff. What's your thoughts about that in particular? Because that's one of the major reasons people don't support him anymore. That did.
Right.
Anyway.
Yeah. No, that's so. I would like, just like you, I want the rest of the files to be released. I do think there's a lot of conspiracies, and I don't want to make it seem like I'm supporting like Epstein or trying to defend him whatsoever. I think he's a sick pedo, and whoever was involved with that should absolutely be prosecuted. So I just want to get that out there. But I do think there's like a lot of conspiracies or some because there's 3 million files that were released, right? No one's went through all 3 million
But
files,
let's stick
right?
to let's stick to the Department of Justice. Was there a law passed by Congress that the Department of Justice was supposed to be complying with?
Yeah, and with a timely release, and I to be honest with you, man, I don't know that whole timeline, but I know it's
I'll
late,
explain
right?
it to you.
And-
So basically, Donald Trump did everything he could to prevent the Epstein Transparency Act from going to the House. He tried to convince Republicans not to sign on to the discharge petition because he knew it had overwhelming support. There was only one Republican in the House that voted no. It passed with unanimous consent in the Senate. And then the president had to sign it because it had a veto-proof majority. But prior to that, Donald Trump called Marjorie Taylor Greene, Lauren Boebert, these harder-line MAGA people aside and said, listen, don't sign on to the discharge petition, right? I don't want the Epstein files released. That was a big deal at the time. And the Ghislaine Maxwell stuff as well. But the point is, then this law passes, and the Department of Justice doesn't get to decide not to comply with the law. The law was very straightforward. It was very carefully crafted to only protect the identity of victims, to make sure we don't redact the names of potential perpetrators, that we're protecting people who were sexually assaulted. But yet, the Department of Justice hasn't complied with the redactions. They have not been responsible in redacting the names of victims, survivors. They have not released the files in the order they should have been released. They didn't release them by the deadline they were supposed to release them by. We have evidence they have withheld documents that should have been released that further implicate Trump. So it is clear that the Department of Justice is obstructing justice. The person obstructing justice is Donald Trump's personal attorney, Todd Blanche. You may be familiar. This is the guy that was standing next to Donald Trump in a criminal courtroom when Donald Trump was being tried for falsifying business records to hide campaign finance violations. Donald Trump was convicted on that case and received an unconditional discharge. This was the guy who defended him. This was the guy who defended him through the other 3 criminal indictments. Of course, they never went to trial. So besides that being a conflict of interest, this person, Pam Bondi just recently fired, are actively preventing the American people from getting that information and making an honest determination on whether or not this person is or has committed this category of crime. I find that to be deeply troubling. And the fact that Trump supporters don't, for the most part, is even more troubling. Because this isn't about party association. This isn't a political affiliation. This is about children, right? This is about pedos, and we should all agree on that. And so I would ask you, look, if I had a folder, right? I always kind of phrase it this way to Trump supporters. If I have a folder, I'll change the context just slightly here. Let's say I have a folder with 40 documents in it, and I say this proves that you're a PDF file. Would you do everything you could to prevent me from showing that to my audience? Or would you say show them because you know you're not a PDF file? You would say show them, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So just changing the context slightly, can you explain to me why the Department of Justice has been obstructing justice during the course of the release of these files?
No, I can't. No, you bring up all valid points, and and like I said, I'm not going to defend any. If he's guilty, I would never defend that, and you obviously a lot more about that than I do, so I'm not going to pretend like, and try to defend that. So. But I mean, I will say just one thing I've noticed too with Epstein files is everyone's talking about blackmail. Do you think there is a large? Do you think?
I do, and I'll say this to you, but I want to give it just a slightly different angle on this, and this is very, very important. So I hope people hear me here on this because I think this is kind of where people get lost. I think that's why they need to be released, because I think the more that they remain hidden, that's how they're used as leverage in blackmail, right? Is that the American public don't have access to them. Because then you can threaten people. There could be people actively being threatened in our government. Hey, if you don't do this, if you don't vote this way, I'm going to release this set of documents in the Epstein files, and then you're gonna be forced to step down and resign, right? Like, how do we know that's not happening, right? So that's why the only solution here is transparency. There is no excuse for the Department of Justice not complying with the law that was passed by Congress. It was passed by Congress. This is how our system works. The president signed it because it had a supermajority. He had no choice, but he signed it. Okay, so it's a law. So it is not up for them to then interpret. And furthermore, I will tell you, I think our government has a deeply rooted issue with not only corruption, but with like sexual assault. I think we have a ton of sick perverts in our government that need to be exposed. I think that like when this Swalwell stuff happened recently, right? He's not the first one. We know about Matt Gaetz and others. This is because of a culture. This is a culture in our government, in Congress, created by Congress. But it's not just Congress. We see what's happening in the executive branch right now, all over our government, right? A culture of PDF files, sickos, corruption, people who don't have the best interests of the American people. And the only way to make sure these people don't become more powerful in these in these conversations is transparency. That's why, regardless of how you feel about Trump or the evidence in the files, you should be on board with the Department of Justice needs to release the files now. No ifs, ands, or buts. Release them now. Todd Blanche went on television the other day and said they're not releasing any more of the files. That is obstruction of justice and in violation of a law passed by Congress.
Right. Yeah, I'm in agreement with that. Yeah, 100%. You know, and anybody who's guilty, you know, absolutely prosecute them. Yeah. I mean, but do you think Epstein was actively blackmailing these billionaires and politicians throughout, and that he has involvement with Mossad, or is that more conspiratorial for you?
He did have involvement with. He was familiar with. He was friendly with intelligence agencies in other countries. Yes, not just the Mossad either. So yes, I believe that's absolutely possible. But that doesn't change the fact that the files need to be released so we can have the information. And the American people, trust me, I can tell you one thing: the American people will take care of it. We don't need government officials to decide what the American people see. We're not talking about something that threatens operational security. We're talking about pedophiles, and they need to be exposed, and that's it. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. We're not playing this game where, we've decided that it'll hurt this person or that person. No. What happens here is that the victims came forward and said that they wanted the files released, and I agree with them. And ultimately, I think that the only way to prevent these being used for more leverage behind the scenes is to be transparent, right? Transparency. That's it. That's the only way forward here. You have to ask yourself why they're unwilling to do that.
Yeah. I mean, do you think they should have been released during the Biden administration too? And I'm not trying to turn the roles here. I'm just like,
I mean, you are, but I can answer the question. So yeah, I think absolutely they should have. I think we probably should have known about this a long time ago. But what I will say is, in the case of the Biden administration, at the time, Ghislaine Maxwell was exhausting her direct appeals. And the president doesn't have unilateral authority to remove redactions or release files sealed by a court related to ongoing litigation or criminal cases. So I would say that the Biden administration would have a legitimate reason to say, well, we couldn't have physically released them the way that you're saying they should be released now. Could there have potentially been things done to inform the American people better on them and release maybe some of the stuff? Sure. And I don't support it keeping it a secret at all. I think it needs to be released, but I think it's important to recognize the president's authority when it comes to this specific time period and what cases were actively being appealed in a criminal court.
Okay, and then so you said who has authority to do that?
I said the president doesn't have unilateral authority to release files sealed by a court related to victims' privacy. We have laws, actual laws that prevent, victims or protect victims' privacy and stuff like that. And there was active. Ghislaine Maxwell was exhausting her direct appeals at the time. right?
Oh, gotcha. And that was halting everything you're saying?
I'd say it interfered with it slightly, but it doesn't mean that there probably could have been a better effort to inform people of what was going on. I think there's a major issue here, but all I know is if you release all of the information related to the files, that we can uncover who's behind these things. Look, here's the problem, right? Is that we don't have all of the information to make the determination. I just want the files released. I would also argue, though, Trump supporters at the time were claiming, number one, that Biden was responsible for unaliving Trump or attempting to unalive Trump. That's number one. So I don't think you guys would have... That Biden was trying to unalive Trump? Yes. They absolutely were claiming that Biden was trying to unalive Trump, that he sent that guy to Butler, Pennsylvania to unalive Trump. Trump supporters truly believe this. I know this because I talk to Trump supporters every single day, and they would tell me Biden was behind it. I think Joe Biden was behind it. It was a major talking about at the time. It's the number two, and most importantly, Trump supporters do not believe the files right now when it's being released by his own Department of Justice. The files that have been released, they don't believe. And who are they being released by? What branch of government is the Department of Justice under?
Oh, executive branch?
Executive, right. So Donald Trump, you'd say, have some authority here, right?
Right.
So how come the files being released by his own attorney, as we previously established, his own attorney is the Deputy Attorney General, now acting Attorney General after the firing of Pam Bondi. Why is that the case? Why don't they believe them? Why are Trump supporters dismissing their credibility? They're being released by his own administration. So I'm supposed to believe that if they were released by the Biden administration, you guys would have believed them? In fact, I think I could actually make a legitimate argument they would have lost their credibility more had they been released by the Biden administration. That doesn't excuse anything. I just want them released. I'm not here to defend politicians. I don't give a shit. I want whoever is in those files and whoever has participated in this activity to be, at the very least, removed from our government. I don't want them making decisions for my fellow Americans anymore. Get them the fuck out of Congress, get them out of whatever position they're in, and then we'll talk about criminal prosecution. And I can tell you one thing, the American people will take care of it regardless, but they have to have all of the information so they can make an honest determination. And this idea that you're going to release some and not release others, withhold information, redact the wrong information, redact Elon Musk's name was redacted in the files. Why? I mean, Elon Musk, this guy who stood next to Trump and perpetuated the idea that we need to release this information, is in the files begging to go to the island, dude. Do you know that?
Yeah. Yeah, well, I mean, the thing is, he was begging to go there? I did not know that. So,
he was the only guy. He was the only guy that I saw in the files that actively wanted to go to the island and kept getting declined. Go read the Elon Musk. Go read the Elon Musk communication with Epstein and Epstein's secretary or whatever it was. It's deeply disturbing.
Yeah. Well, can I ask you a question too? Because you keep on bringing up the American people.
One more time, and then I'm going to move on. But I appreciate it. Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah. Absolutely. So the American people need to. Are you suggesting because you keep on saying that they need to take care of it, like as far as like an uprising of the American people? Is that what you're suggesting? Or
do you work for the FBI?
No, absolutely not. No, the reason why I ask is because, because are you a supporter of the Second Amendment?
I would never support anything that is illegal. I would never encourage people to commit violence against government officials. I would never, ever encourage anyone to do anything that is against the law. I encourage people to only follow the law and do things in a legal manner. Yes, I support the Second Amendment.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
Yeah, I support. I think absolutely I support it, but I do believe in common sense gun control in terms of making sure, like for instance, I think there's loopholes in our system that have allowed for dangerous people to obtain firearms and use them against children, right? So I think we need a better system in place. I think it's probably a good idea to consider getting guns that people are not using actively. People are just like throwing in their closet and forgetting about off the street. And I think you could do that through a system, an incentivized system to get people to turn them in and stuff like that. I think there's there's things we can do to make it safer. But I absolutely support people's right to own a firearm. I would never say that people shouldn't have a right to do that. I just think we need a better system for responsible people to own firearms and make sure that psychopaths that want to hurt children don't.
Hell yeah. Yep. I can agree with that. Well, I appreciate you letting me
All
call
right,
in, man.
Take care.
All right, you too.
Trump spoke today. Yes, there was honestly, I will go over it tomorrow. I don't know exactly what it was for. Let me see really quick and I'll look it up. No, I think the solution always occurs on the left side of the political spectrum. Always. I don't think conservatism as an ideology is ever a part of the solution. I think you have to be progressive. I think you have to progress as a nation, as a people, in order to succeed. So I don't believe in a system of conserving what people think is good. I think things change. People evolve. Shelly, thank you so much. Said you are cooking. Thank you, Shelly. Appreciate you, Shelly. Thank you so much for the Venmo, Shelly. Guys, I think I'm going to pop off here only because I don't want to not give a caller the attention they deserve, and my brain hits a point where I've just done enough. So I'm going to be, yes, F ICE and W to the first ICE agent being charged today. Some accountability in Minnesota, and the people in Minnesota, they deserve accountability because I witnessed what happened to them, and that entire community was brutalized. Randy, listen, Trump supporters constantly talk about intelligence level, and it's probably not the best insult you should use, right? You guys don't know the difference between your and your. This guy said there's nothing conservative about his presidency. Agreed. Trump is not a conservative. I mean, I can have conversations with conservatives. We can disagree on policy. I've had plenty of good conversations with true conservatives. Trump is a fascist. So yeah, but I wasn't referring to that. I was just saying that I don't think being a conservative, I don't think conservative ideology is a solution to this country. I think it needs to be a progressive one. Okay. All right, guys. I love you. Appreciate you. Hopefully we can keep having good conversations on this channel. Keep floating ideas back and forth. Keep trying to have the best conversations we can have, because this is the only chance we have going forward. So appreciate you guys. Guys, consider becoming a member of the channel, right? It helps support the channel. If you guys do like the content, I stream pretty much every day. Try to. I'm not just on here. I'm also on TikTok. If you follow me on TikTok, type 1 in the chat. Just curious how many people watching right now follow me on TikTok. Type 1 in the chat if you follow me on TikTok. If you don't follow me on TikTok, just go to TikTok and type in Adam Cray. Follow me over there, because I do this in the morning plus the news on TikTok every single day. This guy said, you don't know the definition of fascism. Oh, God, Stingray, you must be new here, my friend. You must be new here. So fascism is an ultra-nationalist, authoritarian political ideology. It occurs on the far right side of the political spectrum. I best describe it by using what we call the 14 tenets, right? Attacking higher education, ultra-nationalism. Zellner, thank you so much. Appreciate you, Zellner. Identification of enemies as a unifying cause. These are tenets of fascism. Trump meets all 14. All right, guys, I'm popping off here. Trump supporters are super triggered, but, it's largely because they don't know what they're talking about. All right, guys, love you. Have a wonderful day. Make sure you guys go follow me on TikTok so you do not miss. Type 1 in the chat if you do follow me from TikTok. Type 1 in the chat if you do follow me from TikTok. And make sure you guys go and follow me over there if you haven't yet, because I do debate there in the morning. Thank you so much, everybody. Appreciate you. Have a wonderful night. Take care. Hey, Barbara, Barbara for the Venmo. Thank you so much, Barbara. I appreciate you, Barbara. Seriously. Guys, make sure you hit the subscribe button on your way out so you don't miss future lives.